Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing good. Today we're gonna see the sculpting of Ant Man. The suit is from Ant Man and the Wasp, second film. For the sculpture, I'm just gonna use black clay, and as usual, we're starting from the head of the sculpture. Regarding Ant Man, there's a lot of detailing in the helmet of the character. There's a lot of minute grooves and details over there, so I actually thought it'll take way more time to complete it, but I think I finished it in 1.5 hours or something. That is actually fine. For some characters it'll take more than 2 hours. And the pose itself is a dynamic pose. Over here the character is in the move. One leg is being mounted to the base plate and one leg is in the air. So what happens is the armature is going to shake a lot when sculpting. There isn't enough proper support at the joint place, where the armature on the base plate is being linked to. So it is just an 18 gauge armature, so it isn't that much strong to stay still. So I needed more clay mass in the midsection of the sculpture. But before going to that part, when working with the helmet, I saw that there is a lot of neck area in the reference pic. So I needed some more clay mass in the upper section first. And the sculpture over here is of 6 inch in height. So for that scale, I think you will have to sacrifice a little bit of minute detailing, because your clay tool itself can only help you so much. So in the helmet area there are some circular detailing, so for that I am using some pen caps and stuff to get it right. If I am just going to use a clay tool, I am sure it wouldn't give a clean look. So you can see here I am trying out different sizes of caps, and I am overlapping it with a lining using the clay tool itself, so that the circles look much more defined. Before going to the antennas of the helmet, there are a couple of antennas. I first thought of doing it with chart paper itself, and then I decided why not we do it with clay. So before that, I should first finish off the neck area, and for that I am using the clay extruder so that I can get a flat piece of clay. And for the antennas, it wasn't that hard actually, but only thing that I was concerned of is the antenna wasn't stiff, it was a bit flimsy. I think you can see it in the sculpture itself, and I'm trying to give some details on it. It goes and sticks to the helmet itself. I had to take it out and make it flat and all. So after the helmet is being done, 1.5 hours is over at the stage, and I'm moving on to the leg area. Legs are usually the easiest part of a sculpture, but in this sculpture it was not that easy at all, because due to the pose of it, it was very awkward to sculpt it, and I felt that I've given a lot more foiling than required, because for Ant-Man, the character, the suit will not show much of muscular definitions on it. It is just a simple suit, and the arms will actually be very slim than usual superhero characters. So this level of foiling will be suitable for a lot of muscle work. And since there is just one leg being fixed to the base plate, I don't have much place to hold on to the sculpture when doing the sculpting work. So I had to leave a bit in the midsection, and I'm also trying to give some clay mass to the area where the legs and the upper body are getting linked to, because that is the area where most of the clay is gonna be supported onto. Now usually I would try to finish off each part one by one, as in even with the final detailing also, but again for the pose of the sculpture I don't have much area to hold on to, so any detailing is going to get smudged off, so I have to save it for the final part of the sculpture. And as the sculpture gets a lot of clay on it, its weight gets increased, and what happens is when smoothing out the joining area and all, the leg area, the part where it's being fixed to the base plate, it can move a little, as in it can be a bit more slanting than we fixed it initially. So constantly every now and then I'll have to reposition the pose of the sculpture, and this is not gonna make any changes in the blend of the clay, because you might think if you're gonna uh, alter the pose a lot, it might separate at some certain joint areas and all, but that is not going to be the case over here. Until the clay is being baked, you can play with it as much as you want to. And moving on to the second leg of the sculpture, here I wanted to do this leg first actually, but since the rest of the sculpture is not going to have enough mass to it, when I add clay to the leg that is in the air, it might top over to a side, so I had to save it at the last. And the shoe was also not easy to sculpt, because the clay is just going to be held on to the a small loop of the armature. So what happens is, when trying to smoothening it out, it might come out of position, so I had to go back to it again and again, and even to remove extra clay from that area was also not that easy. Since it is a shoe part, both the shoes has to look the same, so getting it right in this kind of a position, it's not that easy at all. And our character is finally getting its proper mass, so we just have one forearm to complete, and even at this area I felt that the aluminum foiling is a bit more extra than required. And then from there we move on to the hands of the character. The hands, I usually give the character's hand being in fisted position, because it avoids a lot of detailing work actually, but for this pose or dynamic pose the character is gonna run, so a fisted hand wouldn't look good for this pose, so it had to look in open position. So and then from there we're moving on to the detailing part. Finally I'm starting from the midsection, the upper section of the sculpture first. It has a lot of line details in it, and the hard part is when we're going to paint the sculpture, there is going to be red paint in between those lines and all, and our paintbrush isn't actually that slim, so doing that job is not going to be that easy at all. And as I said, the character is not going to have much of muscular definitions to it, it's just a suit, so the suit is going to have some stitch marks and all, that is the area where it has been stitched to, so those detailing is being done. And the legs itself, we didn't have much of complicated detailing and all, because for some characters there will be shoelace and all, and for Ant-Man thankfully there is no such shoelace detailing and all. Yep. So from there we go to the biceps, triceps and shoulder area. The forearm has a kind of a padding to it. Before that we'll finish off the belt. The belt has a couple of pockets to it. It is more like a storage area, and actually these pockets and all is not that hard to sculpt and all. You just need a flat piece of clay, you just cut a part from it, you fold it up and just stick it onto the sculpture. And for those tiny round detail and all for the belt, I use a refill for it. I even use that particular refill for the bird's eyes and all, so it's a pretty handy tool to work with. So the character is gonna be completed, some really final stages of detailing to it. And there was a time before, when I felt Ant-Man is not gonna be so easy to sculpt and all, and in my list of characters I mentioned it will take 2 days to finish off this sculpture, so I'll have to pre-plan it and all. But I think it took 3 hours first, and then I spent some another 3 hours to complete it, some 6.5 hours maximum. That is all it took to complete the sculpture. So after finishing off the final detailing, it's time to bake our little sculpture. It was a wonderful work. I baked it for 45 minutes at 100 degrees Celsius. So after this, it's time to do the paint job of it. The color palette is Scarlet Lake, black and silver. If you had seen Batman's working process, the sculpture will turn into matte finish after baking. So over here I've given a coat of black paint first to give that glossy finish, and actually the suit itself is a little glossy, so a little bit of black first. And for the red color, I didn't give direct red paint, it's a mix of little bit of black to it. And the forearm paddings, the belt, helmet, these are not just silver color, because it isn't that much chrome kind of a look and all to it. It has a little bit of black to it also. And as the helmet is being painted, I give a second coat to it, and then the red color paint for the eyes and all. So that's it with the sculpting and painting of it. And the base plate wasn't actually that much catchy to look, so I had to give it a coat of grey paint. So that's it with the sculpture. I hope you all liked the process, and if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. I think I should have told it the beginning of the voiceover. My god, I forgot it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching it this far. If you like my sculpting, please like the video, share it with your friends. You can even check out my other sculptures in my Instagram profile. I have the links in the description box below. So until then, I'll meet you guys in another sculpting video pretty soon. Bye bye.